What's going on, guys? It's Jordan back today with another video. And in today's video, we're going to actually take a look at Monero, a coin that we haven't really touched on yet, and I think you guys would be super interested in. If that sounds good to you guys, make sure you watch the entire video. Now let's jump right on in to the video. As we jump right on in to the weekly chart of Monero, I kind of want to jump right on in to the little meat and potatoes of the video. If you guys haven't heard that saying in a while, let me know in the comment section below. But in the meat and potatoes of this video, we're going to talk about the weekly chart here and this crazy fractal that I'm seeing in the last bear market to this bear market that we just surpassed now, and see the crazy similarities that are actually going on in this chart. So if we take a look at here, guys, I drew this purple line straight across the price action that we've had since our top back in January of 2018, right? And look at this purple line. So this acted as support all the way back here in 2018, once, twice, and then we fell through it. And look at this purple line. After we fell through it, it was perfect resistance all the way through, right? 1 time resistance, 2 times resistance, 3 times resistance, 4 times resistance. And look what we just did. We actually just broke this purple line back in August, and then we came back down to retest this as support, and now we're absolutely blasting off this purple line on the weekly chart, right? If that sounds crazy, let me know in the comment section below about that as well, guys. But look at this crazy thing back down here, right? All the way back in the 2014 to 2017 market, right? You guys can see back here, we had support on this purple line back here again, once, twice, and then we fell through it, just like we did in the previous one. And look at, guys, after we fell through it, we got the resistance on it once, twice, 3 times, and then we finally broke through it, and we came back down and retested it as resistance, as support, sorry, and then we bounced right on off of it and blasted off, from all the way from 50 cents all the way to $488. That's absolutely crazy. I don't think we're going to see, a 1,000x return again for Monero, which is what absolutely crazy return, and we don't see that very often in these markets. But nonetheless, I do think we're going to get a nice bounce off this up here, and we're going to continue up just like we did down here during this price action, right? This was absolutely blew my mind, and this is why I call this kind of the meat and potatoes of the video, just because I just saw this on this chart, and it just looked so crazy how familiar this looked from all the way back in like 2015, 5 years ago, right? The market movers are painting the exact picture that happened way back then right now for this coin and most altcoins in particular. This is the time you want to buy when we're down here retesting this line before we get this crazy move up, right? You guys saw how big that move up was. This was, if you guys look here, 109,753% move, right? Even took me a while to even read that, just because that's such a crazy number. And so what I think was happening right now, you guys can see the familiarity with this. So we're going to jump on into the next chart of Monero here. And that's just kind of the support and resistances that we have kind of in the midterm, right? So in the we had crazy resistance back of this green box here in the bottom. And now we broke up above it, and we broke up above it, came back down, touched it as support on a little wick. And now we're going to move back up to this red box here. So I think we're eventually going to come up to this red box, which is, from the $118 to $130 level. And this is a crazy resistance that we had back here. Back here, we had support on it. We had resistance on it back here. But this green line is what I really want to focus on, and what I really want us to hold in the short term for us not to turn bearish, right? So we had support on this green back here, support on it, and resistance all through here, resistance here mainly, and resistance here before we break it up above it. We've already came back down to retest it. So I think we kind of proved it as support already. But I kind of want to see a couple daily closes. But there's something in this next chart that we're going to take a peek at that slightly worries me, that I don't want to see for this coin, and it could lead to further downside. But I just wanted to take a look at the quick resistance and support levels. Our next resistance after this one here, about $130, is not even until 165. And after that, there's really not that much price action. It's just kind of the tops over here of each of these, right? And then we're blast off in price discovery, which I think is going to happen at some point next year, probably in about Q2 of next year. So as we flip on over to the next chart of Monero, we kind of happen to be in this ascending triangle, right? You guys are saying that's extremely bullish, and yes, it is, right? It is bullish because ascending triangles tend to break up to the upside about 80% of the time, which is absolutely insane. But I think what we're doing now is we're going to come back up to retest this. We might come back down to retest the bottom of this on the 4 hour, but I think eventually we're going to end up breaking this up to the upside. And there's something that I don't want to see, right? If we break this to the downside, I think it could be a little bit of a fake out and we come back in. We see that all the time with Bitcoin in particular, that these market movers love to fake us out and love to like make us panic sell and then come right back into the triangle and move up, right? So don't panic sell if we do break it. I would set a stop loss probably at the bottom of the triangle here, about $96, but I wouldn't panic sell anywhere in between that, right? So we're going to flip on over to what I think is something that is pretty bearish at the moment for Monero, and that is the possibility of a head and shoulders. So we've seen this head and shoulders top multiple times for this coin. I was just taking a look at it earlier today, and we had so many head and shoulders tops, right? We had one back here. This one's kind of messy, but text. This one's kind of messy, but we had shoulder here, a head here, and a shoulder here, which led to a major downside, right? Same thing all the way back here. If you guys can see, we had a head and shoulders pattern here, which led to a pretty decent sized dump back to our support line. But what I don't want to see is this actually turn into kind of a bigger head and shoulders, right? So if we get rid of all those, what I don't want to see is us kind of do something like this, where we come back, we get rejected here, we come back down and test this as support, and then we come back up and we get rejected at this consolidation right here, and then we kind of form this head and shoulders pattern, which leads us lower, right? I think that's definitely a possibility. This head and shoulders could definitely happen, but just be careful. And like I said, set your stop loss. Same thing about that $90 level, I think is a pretty good stop loss bet, right below this consolidation. Because I think if we do come back down and retest this, there's a big possibility that this head and shoulders pattern does play out. And we could see a little bit further downside, not too much, probably just into this consolidation pattern here at about $65. But that's my long-term, my mid-term, and my short-term analysis for Monero. I kind of mixed them all together. I put the meat and potatoes in the beginning. I put the, whatever's in that stew. I put the cabbage at the end, I guess you want to say. But that's kind of the video for today, guys. Make sure you press that subscribe button if you haven't subscribed already. We just passed 2,000 subscribers, and I wanted to take the end of this video to thank you guys so much for getting me to that level, getting us to that level, because we're a community, right? It just means honestly the world to me, and I love making these videos for you guys every single day, except Mondays. That's my day off. But just want to thank you guys again so much. So I will see you guys in tomorrow's video. Hope you guys have a great rest of your day. Peace.